movement. It's your girl Courtney Nicole, and you already know what it is. This is the Pretty Inside and Out podcast, and we're back with another episode in this series called Think Like a Boss. I titled this series Think Like a Boss because I want people to train their mindsets, train themselves to think in a state where we're boss-like, we're boss-minded, we're proactive, and we're putting ourselves in a space where we can grow and prosper. I want people to understand the importance of embracing your creativeness, your ingenuity, who you are as an individual, but learn how to tap into that in totality. When it comes to going through your season of learning and your season of change, you have to feed yourself exactly what you need to prosper and grow. So in this specific series, we're going through the steps that's necessary in order to blossom and have the perfect blessed print. The first episode that we talked about was the blessed print, the outline, the blueprint on how to get to where we're going. If you didn't tap into that first episode in the following series, you should check it out. They're on my previous episodes that I posted for the series. And this specific series is Think Like a Boss. This specific episode is Cut No Corners. Y'all, I had to pause and get it right. It's titled Cut No Corners. And when I say cut no corners, I literally mean we don't cut no corners. We're going to do it straight out, how it's supposed to be done, correct, in order, live, and direct. The reason why I call this episode Cut No Corners, because technically speaking, we should say don't cut any corners. But good thing I'm not technically speaking. Cut no corners. When it comes to anything that you're doing in life, whether it's a goal, whether it's a dream, whether it's a vision that you have, you want to make sure you do it to the fullest. You want to make sure you give it all that you have, and you want to make sure that you put forth the best possible effort that you can, and don't cut any corners. Cut no corners. The reason why it's very important that when we're doing things, we don't cut any corners, because it can alter the goal or alter the result that we desire. When you have a shape, if you have a square, right, and it got the dotted lines and it wants you to cut it out, and you start cutting, and you cut a corner of that square, it alters the shape and it's no longer a square. It's no longer a square, and now it's not the result that you were intending to have when you were trying to cut the shape into a square. So that leaves you with a end result that you didn't desire. The same thing goes for our goals. If we cut corners for the things that we're trying to achieve, if we cut corners for our vision, if we cut corners for our dream, if we think we have a faster route to get somewhere without doing the work that's necessary, we will be easily misled. The word tells us in the Bible, study to show thyself approved. So whatever you're doing, whatever you're learning, you want to make sure you put yourself in the right position and you take the proper and necessary steps to get to where you're going. All of us have had an experience where we woke up late, or we may have known somebody who had an experience where you woke up late, right? And you had somewhere to be, so you had a deadline. So you had a couple choices. Either you were late to the place that you had to be, and you did everything that you needed to do except for be on time, or you cut out some of the stuff that you needed to do in the morning time, but you weren't able to do everything that you usually do, whatever is usually in your routine. Maybe you didn't get to eat breakfast. Maybe you didn't get to take a shower. I mean, come on, y'all. Don't do us like that. Maybe, I know y'all ain't skipped them teeth. I know y'all ain't skipped brushing them teeth. So I ain't even going to put that in the maybes. I know y'all brush your teeth in the morning, right? But what I'm going to tell y'all is, whenever you do something, when you wake up late or you're not able to do it in the timely manner, the manner that you intended to, right? The result is something has to get left out. Something has to get X out of the equation, X out of the initial routine. What I'm trying to encourage people to do, what I want to encourage people to do, is to create a routine, create a habit, so that way you're not cutting any corners, and stick to the plan, stick to the discipline. If you know that if you wake up 15, 20 minutes earlier in your day, that's going to create a lack of something for you that morning, it's going to throw you off. You have to learn to have preparation. Prepare so that you don't have to cut any corners. Prepare for the best and prepare for the worst. What I mean, I use the same example that I use for waking up in the morning. If I wake up in the morning and I know I'm supposed to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and I got to be to work at 7 o'clock, but I end up waking up at 6:30. If I know that I might wake up late, or I'm not even going to say 6:30 because 6:30 we pushing it. We don't got time to do nothing. Let's say I wake up at 6, but I was supposed to wake up at 5:30 and I got to be to work at 7. What I'm going to do is prepare my stuff the night before. I'm going to prepare my lunch, pick out my clothes. I'm going to have my hair products on the counter for my ladies. For my men, if you need to groom, take a shower, whatever it is that you need to do before you go to work, prepare yourself. If you want to go to the gym, wake up early enough so you have time to go to the gym. Calculate the traveling time. Cut no corners, because when you start cutting corners, then it X out the goal. It makes the goal and the result not become exactly what you want. Okay, so I didn't eat breakfast, so I had to go to the store. I had to go to Wendy's, pick something up because it's quicker than, chefing something up in the kitchen. I was 5 minutes late to work. Now I got a bad attitude. Now my habits and my things are not in order. Now my mind is not in the right place. Now I'm just frustrated all in general. You have to prepare so that you can be in a good position. A lot of the times it doesn't even have to be work. Don't cut any corners when it comes to your dreams, your visions, your goals. I use work as a minimal example so you guys can understand, because I know everybody can relate to a day where you wake up late or waking up not at a time where you desire or you can get everything done. Be realistic with your time and allow yourself enough time to do the things that you're trying to do. The reason why it's important that you allot yourself enough time is because the time that you put into producing what you desire will allow your success to be prosperous, will allow you to see success in what you're trying to do. If you cut it short, right, your results are going to reflect that. A lot of the times we easily cut something out of the equation and then we wonder why we're seeing changes, or we wonder why the results are not what we expected them to be. But it's because we didn't calculate the fact that the changes alters the estimate. It alters what you initially wanted to achieve, what you initially wanted to produce. We have to be very careful whenever we're creating something. Your creation, your vision, your design, your goals, you want to place them at the foot of God. And when you place them at the foot of God, you also want to be conscientious of putting your full effort into it. I know that whenever you're trying to create habits, whenever you're trying to be successful, it becomes difficult because it requires you to push yourself. It requires you to tell yourself to break old habits. But breaking old habits are necessary when you're trying to achieve a goal. And when you're trying to achieve that goal, shortcutting yourself, it only creates issues for you, because when you shortcut yourself, we'll use this for example. If I'm supposed to learn something, right? And I don't learn the whole steps that's necessary to get to the end of that process. But I got to the end of that process. When it comes back for me to teach it, when it comes back for me to do it again, I don't know the necessary steps to get to where I was, but I just jumped there. It's going to make it much more difficult. It's going to have you improperly handling things that you could have properly known how to handle if you would have took the necessary steps to get to where you're going. But instead, you skip steps. It's okay to skip steps or move faster through certain steps, but don't skip steps in the process. Sometimes your work ethic can help you Sometimes your work ethic can help you move faster through the process. Sometimes your wisdom can help you move faster through the process. Sometimes where you're at in life, your experiences can help you move faster through the process, but don't skip the steps necessary to get there, because it will cause you to be inflicted in what you're trying to do. When I say think like a boss, you say cut no corners, okay? When I say think like a boss, you say do it full throttle. When I say think like a boss, you say cut no corners. When I say think like a boss, you say do it full throttle. I'm so serious, y'all. Y'all gotta understand. We cut ourselves short. We cut ourselves we cut the fruit that we're trying to produce short when we don't take all the necessary steps, when we don't give ourselves discipline, and when we don't put ourselves in a position to grow and prosper. How many times, y'all, how many times have y'all cut yourself short? What I want y'all to do is write out what steps are necessary to prosper and what steps can I skip in order to get where I'm trying to go. Write those steps out. Pay attention to those steps weekly, daily. Remind yourselves of the steps that you can't skip. I can't skip the gym when I'm trying to lose weight. I can't skip the YouTube videos on education on how to make a beat when I'm trying to be an engineer. I can't skip certain steps because it's necessary for me. The next person might skip it. To each his own. But we not skipping what's ours because we know it's for us. We're not skipping what's ours because it's for us. We know that what God has intended for us takes the proper preparation, takes the proper steps, takes the proper grooming, takes the proper enhancement. And in order to grow, in order to be equipped for what you want, you have to allow that process to happen. So pretty ladies and handsome gentlemen, I hope you all take heed of this episode when we talked about cut no corners. Because listen, the corners that you're cutting are shaping you to something that you don't desire. We want to make sure that we shape and we mold ourselves exactly the way that we're trying to do. Shape and mold our vision, shape and mold ourselves, shape and mold our businesses, shape and mold our goals. We want to make sure that we're cutting no corners, because when you cut corners, you cut yourself short. And that's not what we desire to do. Pretty ladies and handsome gentlemen, I hope y'all have a blessed day. I hope that your day is prosperous. I hope that your mind wraps around this thought and that you just write out everything that you want to see go forth in fruition. And when you write it out, you make sure you don't skip the steps that are necessary for you. And I hope that you all tap into the next episode next Wednesday. I love y'all, and I will see y'all soon.